Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Another beautiful day here, hot and steamy. And the show's going to be hot and steamy too. We are here live in studio, and we're going to be talking about the market in review. What a great market we are having. And we're going to talk about really some strategies that we're going to need to do to capture these great returns that we should be getting. So stay tuned and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. Great to be with you. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio broadcast, and I'm here with the man who helps high net worth families navigate life's biggest financial decisions, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Whether you're planning your legacy or preparing for the next phase of life, here is our beautiful Southwest Florida paradise. Alfie's got you covered, so grab your coffee, settle in. Be sure to jot his number down, 239-747-1077. You also can visit Alfie anytime at savingtheinvestor.com. And before we jump in, we've got a very special gift for all of our listeners today. Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement, is backed by popular demand, and he's giving away a limited number of free copies to our listeners. If you haven't picked up your copy yet, it's full of powerful lessons, real-life stories, and retirement strategies you can use today. Just call the operator and ask for it, or text the word book to 239-747-1077. Again, call or text the word book to claim your free copy. Do it right now. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till the end of the broadcast. Call the operator or text the word book to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, you said it best at the beginning. The market is on a tear. Tariffs are working. Inflation is down. But the Fed isn't doing anything. I'm sure you're going to talk about all that. It's crazy what's going on with him. But great to be with you.
Yeah, it's great to be here also. And yes, the Feds are, it seems like they are talking about September interest rate cut. So that would be good. But they are concerned about the tariffs. They've been tariff. They were concerned about inflation. Now, inflation under control. Now they're concerned about the tariffs that would be causing inflation. But as you see, it is not causing inflation. And the GDP is growing. Is at 3% now. And that is a great number because they weren't anticipating that. I think they were anticipating 2.4. So the growth is coming. Yes. And
6 months.
And you got a lot of money invested. I was listening to Secretary Lutnick, and he was a couple days ago, and he was talking about these trade deals and countries that have really been treating us not too good, and it just wasn't fair. And they were charging us all this tariff money, and we weren't charging them back. But he says if you want to play in our box right now, our play box, then you need to play with us, meaning that you need to start being more fair. And that's what these trade deals are all about. And what they're doing now, these countries are opening up the markets. It wasn't that they didn't want cars, like Europe didn't want our cars. They want our cars, but the tariffs are so bad they couldn't afford our cars. So now you're looking at, tariffs that are going to be a lot less for us to be paying over there. They're going to be paying tariffs over here, which they never really did before. A lot of countries were free, bring it by but now
we don't make that much here yet, but that's still changing.
Yeah, things are changing. You got, $15 trillion, a number. That's what they were saying, $15 trillion of investable, countries and companies coming here investing in the United States to build, factories. And so, that's the other thing our secretary was saying. He said that there's going to be nuclear subs here, nuclear plants here that's going to be built. It's going to create so many jobs that's going to increase GDP. That's why he thinks GDP is going to be a lot more than just 3%. So, if GDP, jobs growth keeps going and GDP and people are spending money, you worry about inflation. But as long as you have a high GDP, it offsets the inflation. So that's why you have to have a high GDP. And that's what Trump is creating. He is creating a beautiful, like he said, the golden years. And this could be the golden years, and it just feels like it.
Yeah.
It really...
It's getting ready to pop. The economy is getting ready to pop, and more Americans working than ever. I mean, a lot of great things are happening out there.
Yeah. No, I feel it. And then, our clients are feeling it when they're coming in. They're looking to doing their risk assessment, and they're willing to take more risk this year than it was last year before, because the uncertainty was so bad. They didn't want to take that risk, but now they're willing. They feel the risk reward is there, and you see like what happened on Thursday. The market was on a tear because you had Meta, was up quite a bit. You had Microsoft. These are companies that hit their numbers and then some, way above their numbers, and so a lot of good things are happening, and it's going to be. I feel this is going to be something that will be, for years to come, that we're going to have a good market, because when you have 10 or 15 trillion dollars of money that's coming to the United States, that's a lot. That's the biggest in ever. So this is good. So President Trump is doing what he says he's going to do: deport, people that came here illegally. He's doing that. He's creating jobs. He got the one big beautiful bill signed. On that bill there was more good than bad. And again, they were talking about on that one big bill, John, how it was going to increase the deficit. Right. But on the other hand, they don't take in consideration the money that's going to be coming in and the tariff money. They never had this tariff money come in. They got more money coming in. The first time they had a surplus since the 90s. And
they're talking about giving families rebates, but I think we should pay this debt down, don't you?
Yeah, I would like to forget the rebate, just pay this debt down and not and quit messing with it, because one interest rate drop would save our interest of almost $350 billion of just interest. So that's why Trump was saying 3 points would be a lot to cut. But we are so much more than all these other countries. We're like number 50 in interest rates. How much we're charging?
We borrow a lot from abroad, don't we? We're not borrowing from here.
Yeah, we're borrowing, but you have the T-bills are being sold, and they're about 4%. But the bottom line is we need to get that debt down, and this would be a great way.
It's important that in a world that's constantly changing, as Alfie's talking about, from tax laws to market strategies and savings, if you save $500,000 or more, this is the perfect time to stop and ask, is my plan aligned with where the world is headed and where I want to go? There's opportunities out there right now that you can maximize and take advantage of in this market that is absolutely exploding. And Alfie and his team at the Advantage Retirement Group are offering a complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup call. It's a no sales pitch, no obligation, just an honest, insightful conversation with a seasoned retirement professional. We're going to talk about what matters most to you: taxes, investment structure, income strategies, and anything else that's on your mind. It's just 15 minutes. You could uncover some gaps or opportunities that make all the difference in your retirement. So call right now or text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, you can take a complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup call by calling the operator or texting the number 15, and that will take you to a landing page, and you will be able to set an appointment to speak with a trusted professional here at the Advantage Retirement Group, where you can get a consultation and a retirement checkup to make sure your strategy is on target to where you want to go. Text the number 15 or call 239-747-1077. And Alfie, a lot of people are calling in for that 15-minute checkup because it really is giving them some insights, and you're uncovering a lot of things in that 15 minutes that could cause them, not to really maximize their retirement plan.
Yeah, so we're going to know. What we're going to do is ask questions, and then that 15-minute phone call, if you want to come in for an appointment, you need help, come on in. But if you're like, I don't know if this is for me or not, let us, talk to you for 15 minutes, and we can get enough information in 15 minutes to see if we can help you or not. And that's what it's all about, to see if we can help you and get you to and through retirement. So that 15-minute phone call is very non-threatening. We're going to ask you questions and see if there's something that we can really help you with and put you in position, because this market is, and I'm going to talk about Maria Bartiromo on the next break here, because we got to spend some time with her in New York last week, and her insight, her storytelling is top notch. So We're going to talk about that. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss us.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor. I'm in studio with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend, who has over 40 years, that's 40, experience as a CFP. And he's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And if you've been wondering whether your own plan is on track, now is the perfect time to find out. Alfie and his team are offering a complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup call. It's a quick, no-pressure way to get clarity on your current path. All you have to do to take advantage of that complimentary call is text the number 15 to 239-747-1077 to schedule yours today. And if you don't text, just call the operator, 239-747-1077, and tell them I want to take advantage of Alfie's complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup call. It's one smart step towards your financial chapter. And Alfie, the markets year-to-date are really rocking and rolling here. All three indexes are up.
All-time highs, especially for NASDAQ and Dow. So we are in big, record territory. This is what you want to hear. And this is, you got to remember, when the market was down, 20% for NASDAQ, 16% at the earlier part of the year, April, for the S&P, it had to make up more than 16%. It had to make up over 20% to make it up. And now they're up. The S&P is up, right around 9%. The Dow's up 4.5%, but NASDAQ is up now over 10% for the year. That means they made up over 20%, which in that case was like making 25%. Then they're up another 10%. So this is what the market's all about. That's why, and I can't tell you how many people probably are, hopefully not our listeners, but people around the country. What they did is they saw that market go down. They go, oh, this is it. This is it. These tariffs are going to kill even the media scared them, and then Wall Street scared them. Speaking about Wall Street, we were, your son, David Antonucci, and I had the privilege last week to go to New York. This was the week before, we got back on a week ago Friday, but we were at the New York Stock Exchange. Not too many people get to go in there and ring the bell. So we were there, had to ring that bell at the New York Stock Exchange. And what an amazing, building that is. And we got to hear from the president of the New York Stock Exchange and what they're doing. She said, right now, how it's, opens at 9:30, closes at 4. We're going to have probably next year, starting 22 or 26, we're going to have 22 hours of trading. The market's going to be open for 22 hours. She said most of the trading will still be done 9:30 to 4:30, but you know how they have after hours? So you're going to see the market, you're going to see the portfolios go up and down after hours. And one of the reasons they wanted to do that because of the Nikkei was down like 12% in one day. It was a bad day, and they want to be able to control that, after hours, where if they had to put stop orders in and stuff like that to keep it from going down. How they'll buffer it down. So she thinks it's going to be a great thing. I personally don't like it myself. I don't like it, but at 4:30 or 4 o'clock you can look at it, but it's going to be different along the night.
You can buy and sell like at 4 in the morning too.
Yeah, you can buy. You can buy and sell and do. It's going to be a 22-hour market, and the 2 hours close is because of there was one of the main trading closes for 2 hours, so that's why they did 22 versus 24 hours. So it's going to be Monday through Friday. So we will see what that will do, and that's going to be
more early morning reports, midday.
Yeah, we got a lot of reports coming, so that will be something probably new next year that we have to look forward to. But anyway, we got to see Maria Bartiromo, and she was what a great storyteller. She was talking about her early days at CNN, and she said, her early days when she was on the floor, she said, it was mayhem.
Just a reporter.
she was a reporter, but she was getting bumped into all the time. And she, if it was purposely or what, but it was, she wasn't treated too good, because, it's like it's a man's world, and, you're just in the way, get out of the way. So she was telling those stories. She was telling how she interviews, all these, these CEOs and she was talking to, I don't know if it was Zuckerberg. I think it was Zuckerberg, and he has these new glasses she was talking about, and these glasses are, it's going to be with Ray-Ban and Oakley, and these glasses are nice looking glasses. You put them on, and you can say, "What am I looking at?" and it will tell you and give you a history of it. So it's wonderful. And then she says, "Hey, what about your, so close to your brain and stuff, all that technology?" And they said that, the computer sort of you put in your pocket, so it's not by your brain, but it tells you everything. What your
travel abroad?
Oh, it's what am I looking at? So it's going to be big, and that's why Meta has increased so much. It's over $700 a share now, because they invested, and they were worried. Wall Street was worried about how much they were putting into AI, but they are so advanced in the AI. They're one of the top leaders in AI right now, Meta. So, and we have a lot of Meta in our clients' portfolio, so that's a good thing. But then you got Microsoft. They hit big numbers this week too. But getting back to Maria, I got to go talk to her a little bit about at the backstage, and there was a couple hundred of us over there, but only I asked for permission. They first denied me, and then they called me back and said, come on back to the stage. So I got there. There was only about 3 of us. I got to take pictures with her and talk to her a little bit, and she's amazing. And so she went from CNN to I guess that MS Fox or Business,
Fox Business.
Not Fox Business, but before that she was with MSNBC, I think, Business, and then she was there for 20 years, and then she went to Fox. And when she went to Fox, she said it was very intriguing because she wanted to do more than just report. So Fox opened it up. She has a Sunday show. She said she used to travel all over to report.
Yeah.
And she, that was real nice. And she was talking about CNN when she first went to CNN, how Ted Turner was like a trailblazer. He had, in the first Gulf War, I mean, there was people there right where the bombs were. They were reporting. They were doing their news and their job, but now they're so slanted. It's awful. Absolutely awful. But she loves, Fox. She gets to have her Sunday show, #1 financial show, in the morning. So she is definitely one that I really enjoyed. Yeah, I've heard a lot of speakers, but I really loved her stories and everything that she talked about, and her knowledge is very good. And what she said is she was always a registered independent. She wasn't a Trump person at all. But then she was reading, and she was one of the first to read about this, this Russia stuff, and she said it wasn't true. So she went out and started reporting against it, and her credibility, from all these Democrats, they hated her at the time. What are you doing? What are you doing? And she says, I'm getting the truth out there. And then she, she got, after time went by, she was right. She was right. It's still coming out. And so she loves what Trump is doing. She loves that she thinks the economy is going to take off big time. And she thinks we really will be in the golden years. So that was right from Maria. So this is good stuff.
Yeah, well, you're positioned for the future right now, and a lot of great things are happening, as Alfie just shared in these first 2 segments here in our B block. But if you have not really had your portfolio examined, this is the time to do it. You want to sit down with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. He does what's called a retirement simulator process. and it's a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns each and every year. Make sure you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're rebalancing at the right time so that you stay in the same asset classes and mixes that you desire, and that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. Listen, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional, has over 40 years experience. He is a CFP, and he's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, the individual investor, not to any products or services that he does offer here through the Advantage Retirement Group. Call or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Sit down with Alfie. Let him put his eyes on your portfolio to make sure that you're going in the right direction. He's going to take you back 5 years and show you what his portfolio would have done right next to yours, so you'll see it right on a big computer screen. Give him a call. Text the word VISIT, 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so please don't go away.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we are here to talk about the markets and talk about really what we are hearing and what we see, what the future brings. And I say the future is so bright, you need to wear shades. And you know who said that was ZZ Top.
There you go.
And I got to see ZZ Top in a private concert, and it was awesome. So there's more stories about ZZ Top. But anyway, so really, I want to dive into this. I'm going to have John talk first, and then we're going to get into markets and labor and the Fed outlook and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, the markets are definitely rocking. And, if you haven't had a review in your portfolio, it's important that you take advantage of Alfie's complimentary 15-minute checkup call. It's a retirement checkup call. Listen, pick up your smart device right now as I'm speaking to you, because Alfie and his team are offering a complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup call. Now, what does that mean to you? It's a quick, no-pressure way to get clarity on your current path. Just call or text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Matter of fact, do it right now. Text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. That'll take you to a landing page, and you'll be able to schedule a 15-minute complimentary checkup call with one of Alfie Townsend's advisors that are here in his office here. And it's going to make sure that you're on the current path and target towards your retirement. Even if you're soon to be retired or you're currently retired for 10 years or more, it doesn't matter. Why don't you get a checkup on your portfolio today? That's no obligation. There's no sales pitch. It's just an honest, insightful conversation with the seasoned retirement professional. And they're going to talk about what matters to you: taxes, investment structure, income strategies, anything that's on your mind. Simply text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, the markets are really moving by AI-backed tech companies right now. When you say NVIDIA, which is $4 trillion, I mean, you never say, you always say don't put your eggs in one basket, but that seems to be where everything is going, isn't it?
Well, sectors, yeah, and that's what, you hear Wall Street talk about it. AI is what the .com was.
Yeah, right.
And it's just different. There's always going to be really different sectors that are going to move the market for a decade. And this one right here. And Maria, talking about Maria Bartiromo, she wasn't so concerned about this because, with AI taking your jobs, yes, it's going to take some jobs, but what's going to happen is it's going to create jobs, especially high-paying jobs in the nuclear department, energy department, because you need, sector, I should say, because you need so much energy to run AI, and that's what is going to create a lot of jobs, just to run the stuff.
Yeah.
So these are jobs that are high-paying jobs when you're talking about nuclear reactors you're building, and they're just in energy. When you're in energy, you're making money, and it takes so much to run these things. So you're going to see different sectors that are going to be doing good. So it's going to be, training people in a new environment of work that they haven't been doing. So it's not something you want to be afraid of. It's something you want to embrace, and then, move forward and see what it brings.
Yeah, definitely makes life
almost like they were saying, I'm reading a book with Tony Robbins, and he's interviewing different multi-billionaires, and this one was saying it's going to be almost like a co-pilot for you, co-pilot, and it's going to help doctors, it's going to help, but you're still going to always want to have a human, but you're going to have this that will get things done faster. It's going to be more efficient if you know how to use it. If you want to write letters, you can use it in a lot of different ways. Like directions. I use it for directions. You have something and you put those directions in there and say, simplify it for me, and it does. It simplifies it for you.
Technology is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So, there's some things I go back to you, John. It was,
long ago I had a flip phone.
It wasn't long ago you had a flip phone. We first started hanging out, and I had my iPhone, and I don't want one of those. I don't want one of those. And eventually you got one, and now you know more about that phone than I do because you're on it all the time.
Yeah, it's addictive.
Yeah, it is addictive.
Sometimes I wish I never went to it.
Yeah. And Apple, I'm telling you, Apple, once they come out with their flip phone, they're gonna come out with one, and when they do, it's going to be. I think the stocks are going to go crazy with that.
Yeah,
I really do. So let's talk about, so we have labor and inflation signals. We do have jobless claims. We're at 218,000. It's, it's steady. Insured unemployment rate is at 1.3. So we have strength in the labor force. We do have strength, and the Fed outlook, it looks like jobs and spending both, they're holding firm, and it looks like we could have a rate cut, but it's not going to be this time. It's going to be more, it's going to be more for September, they're looking, or by the end of the year, we will have a rate cut. But, by next year, we're going to have a different Fed chairman, and he's going to be out. And, what does Trump call him? Always too late or something?
Too late, pal, yeah. He just met with him in that $3 billion new high-rise.
And it's funny because you look at President Trump and the things that he'll say to people right in their face, right to them. It's like, oh my God, it's things that you wish you could say, but you don't say.
He's got no fear.
He has no fear at all. And he's showing how much over budget he is, and why did you build this basement? As one of the most important or one of the most expensive things, and you didn't need it. And President Trump, one thing, that's his comfort zone right there about building. It was a skating rink over at Central Park, I think, that it was like 3 years, and they couldn't get the refrigerant right. They couldn't do it. They were just millions and millions over budget. They gave it to him, and I think he did it for cost or nothing, and he did it in a matter of like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Boom, and that took 3 years. So, Trump gets things done. He's a negotiator. If you haven't read his book, The Art of the Deal, that goes back to late 80s. That's a book that everybody needs to read.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if and reread. I'm going to see if my son read it. If not, I'm going to get it for him, because that is a way to negotiate, and it's that's what he does, and that's what we need in office, and that's why the office, the economy is doing so good, is because he's making deals around the country to invest in our country. So you have to take that in consideration. If you have trillions and trillions of dollars that is now being invested here, so they don't have to pay that much on tariffs. So it's almost that tariffs are a great thing if you think about it. I wasn't a big tariff fan, but if you think about it, you tell a country, listen, if you don't want those tariffs, just invest in our country, and you're building here.
Yeah. Or take it off of us. I mean, they've had them on us, like you said, for all these years. We're paying through the nose.
Yeah.
And we buy most of this.
So they're opening the market around the world that we didn't have. So that's why I'm telling you, if you haven't checked out your portfolio, this is a great time, because we have portfolios that specializes in energy, that specializes in AI, that specializes in different sectors that's going to be taking off. So we would love to really do a comparison on what you have, and that's what we call the retirement simulator. What we'll do is we'll look at everything that you're holding, and then we'll show you, the good and bad and ugly, and we're going to show you your fees. We're going to show you your sectors. We're going to show you your large cap, small cap, how much you have. If you have long-term bonds, short-term bonds, whatever you have, we're going to show it to you, and we're going to show you your rating compared to what we would do for you with the same risk tolerance. So we're not increasing your returns by increasing your risk. No, we're increasing your returns and keeping it at the same risk or even less. And a lot of our portfolios this year, when we're bringing clients in for reviews, they're beating the S&P with about 20 to 30% less risk. Now, that's impressive. So if we can build a portfolio because of these unbelievable managers that we have at a 20 or 30% less volatility, that is a win-win for you. So if you want to, see how your portfolio stacks up to ours, this is a great time to come in, and John will tell you how to do it. Just to say, hey, I want to have a retirement simulator done on my portfolio. We don't charge you for that. And then once we get it, then you'll know what's going on in your portfolio. You'll know what your fees are. And I know there's many advisors out there, John, that say, hey, there's no fee. Yeah, you're not paying for this. If they're not charging you a fee, that means your fee is being taken out of your returns. So there's always a fee. So, and we'll show you our fees too. I'm not saying we don't charge fees, but they're transparent. We show you what they are. So, and you see them. So that's what you want. You want to see them.
Yeah, Alfie and his portfolio managers have put together a proprietary product called a retirement simulator process. It's a computer program that takes a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. Alfie takes you back 5 years, puts his portfolio side by side with yours, and you'll see on a big 80-inch screen exactly how your portfolio would have compared to his, and you'll be able to see, all the ins and outs of what he does as far as allocation, diversification, rebalancing. He's got a riskalyzer that will assess your risk, and it's not just what's your risk 1 to 10. It actually is a program that will tell you exactly what your risk tolerance is. And if he can lower your risk by maximizing your returns, that's what you're looking for. That's why you want to deal with Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional, Alfie Townsend. He's a CFP with over 40 years experience. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he does offer here at the Advantage Retirement Group. Why don't you sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples? Don't hesitate. Pick up your smart device right now. Call the operator or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, you owe it to yourself, especially as we're moving into the golden age of America, to position yourself and your portfolio for what's going to take place in the days ahead. Alfie is already up around the curve. He's already ahead of everybody else. You want to visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Take advantage of his years of expertise by calling or texting the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. It'll be the best decision you make today by sitting down with him in Fort Myers or Naples, 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. Alfie's got over 40 years experience, and he wrote a book called Keeping You in the Retirement Fairway, Living Better from Tee to Green, and also Making Waves in Retirement. Guess what? His new book, Making Waves in Retirement, is available complimentary for you today. All you have to do is call the operator or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Again, you can pick up a complimentary copy of Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement, by calling the operator and asking for it or texting the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, in your portfolio, you invest in a lot of different sectors. And we've talked over the years about international stocks and having, small caps and those type of things in countries like Greece and different places that have made money. And each year, you don't know what's going to do well.
That's
right.
Right.
One thing we know this year is America is doing pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you go back to the beginning of the year, even just go back to April, the international market was crushing the U.S., crushing it. I'm talking about 20% better because it didn't go down as much, and it was up quite a bit more than U.S. So what a lot of people did was they took their money that was down in not our clients, I'm just talking about in general. They were taking money out of the U.S. and putting it back into international. And one of the reasons why they did that, because international has been cutting rates early on. They cut rates, and when ours is still high, they're cutting them. Okay, so they're quite a bit lower than us. So the markets were reacting pretty positively. So you had these people taking out money out of their portfolios that went down from the U.S. side of the portfolio and say, I'm going to put it over here into the international. Now, if you look at the returns as of July 30th, international is at between 8 and 9%. Okay, so that means that really the S&P and especially NASDAQ has passed them. So you would have gotten out.
So you pull your money out while we were down.
We were down, so they're dealing with less money. And if they would have kept it there, and now with everything happening, you're going to see international still do okay. But now they had their run right now. Now the U.S. is starting to run, and they're going to keep running past the international. So you don't want to chase returns. We talked about that all the time. Chasing returns is where you're down, so you take it out of there. International's doing good now. I'm going to chase it. I'm going to get that. You have a stock that's going up, 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 up. I got to have some of that stock. I got to have some of that NVIDIA that's increased 40% in the last 2 months. Then you get in NVIDIA, and then it starts to slow down a little bit. What you had probably would have passed it from that point on. So you don't want to chase returns. What you want is a portfolio that rebalances. You want to have opportunities in buying on the dips, and you just want to not chase returns. If you're chasing returns, you need to give us a call and let us compare ours to yours and see what professionals are versus what you might be doing.
Yeah, it's important because then you're too late if you're chasing returns, like too late, pal, right?
We have people that come in and say, you know what, I'm done with managing my own money because I'm emotional and I just seem to take it out at the wrong time, put it in at the wrong time. So I'm going to turn it over to you so I don't have to worry about it. I tell them, look, that's a good thing to do because what you're doing are you teaching your spouse the same thing what you're doing? Because she's going to do the same thing, or can she do the same thing? And majority of the time, or he, and most of the time, the answer is no. They don't want to mess with it. So really, when I say, when you're about to retire or soon, or you are retired, what you want is you want to have a comprehensive income plan. That's what we give you, a comprehensive income plan, where that money's coming from. And some of our income is creating on the low side 8%, on the high side 15%. If you're a accredited investor, I can show you my accounts. I can show you that I'm in everything that we're talking about. I am in it myself. And yes, it is paying. I'm in the 12% one. It's different between the 12 and the 15. One's a 3-year commitment. One's a 2-year commitment. Matter of fact, the 15 is a 2-year commitment. And this is, when I say commitment, you can get out if you had to. It'd be a small penalty, and it's not an annuity. It's an investment called a tender offer with some great protection devices to it. If you want to know about how to create an income, this is the thing. If you have $1 million that you're going to create income, you could put $500,000 in there and get $75,000 income, and then the other $500,000 we invest for growth. Just think, if you have $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, we can create some great income for you, and then have some strategies for your other monies to grow and fight inflation. So let's go back to a couple other things. So if you want to know more about income planning, and let us compare our income plan to your income plan or your total. A lot of people, John, they come in here, they don't have any income plan. They have no written income plan. They have no written plan at all. They're just taking income from from the whole portfolio. But what this allows you to do is take income from this and let your other money sit and grow during good and bad times. So there's strategies with income planning. So we talk about the money that's coming in. Japan, we're talking about $550 billion that Japan's going to be investing. You talk about $600 billion that the EU is going to be investing here in the United States. these are companies or countries that are wanting to put money. They're going to be putting money in the U.S. and it's going to be a different type of investing, because what it does is it creates jobs. It creates just, high paying jobs.
Like they're using our electricity and everything that's tied to what we pay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And they're putting money here in the U.S. because they know we are the leaders again. We were losing that. We were losing that with Biden.
He said America's back, though, Joe.
Yeah.
Remember, he said America's back.
America's back. Oh, I thought he just said that because that's what he should be saying right now. America's back, because it is back right now, and is back with a vengeance, and like the golden years are here. So I hope you're taking advantage of this. If you're not, give us a call and we'll set you up.
Yeah, Alfie just shared another product that he offers that can get you 12 to 15% on your money. There's so many opportunities here at the Advantage Retirement Group. You owe it to yourself to sit down with Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional, Alfie Townsend, with over 40 years experience as a CFP and as a fiduciary. Fiduciary means his responsibility is to you, the individual investor, not to any products or services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. It's not a cookie-cutter process. He tailor-makes everything to your individual retirement plan and strategy. Listen, you can sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples, take advantage of his wealth of knowledge and wisdom that he's shared with so many hundreds and hundreds of clients over the years. You can pick up the phone, call him, and visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. You can visit with Alfie today. Make an appointment right now. Pick up your smart device. Call or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077.
Thank you, John. This is a great show when the market has record weeks. It's always great. It's always fun to do the show. And with the job numbers are looking good, inflation numbers are looking good, and really interest looks like it's going to be coming down later this year. And that's all good news for a market that has a lot of room to run, because there's profitability. You look at these companies, 80% of the companies that reported earnings are up 80%. So yeah, I mean that means that
you're not making money now, something's wrong.
Yeah. And that's really true, because if if the companies are making money, that means stockholders are making money, and if you're not making money, there's a problem with it. And you don't know, you might be making a little bit of money, but it might not be the money that you should be making. So give us a call and come in for that review. We'd love to hear from you. I don't know if you ever watched our show, Saving the Investor. It is one of the top local financial shows over the last 5 years here in Southwest Florida. It's on NBC right after Meet the Press. It's at 11 o'clock, 11 to 11:30. And Craig Wolf and Mary and myself, we just really, really dive deep in some of these topics that we're talking about now. But that's on every Sunday, 11 o'clock to 11:30, right after Meet the Press. And then, of course, right here on 92.5, 9 to 10. And Jake the Millennial is our producer, and we are grateful for him. And we are grateful for you all listening. Until next week, be blessed.